Hello, my name's James Savage and welcome to All the Gear. This is my weekly look back at the equipment stories of the week, what's going on tour, anything interesting that players are using out on tour, any new releases that have come into the office, press releases that we've got through, just really rounding everything up. You've probably already read my weekly column on nationalclubgolfer.com, but we thought we'd do it as a video as well because we don't currently have enough videos on our website, so we thought we'd do another one. Okay. First place to start is we're going to talk about Jordan Spieth, who we've actually spotted that he's been using the brand new Titleist Vokey SM7 wedges, which to me that wasn't a massive surprise. Jordan Spieth was someone who moved quite quickly from the SM5 wedges into the SM6 wedges, so I really wasn't surprised at all to see that he's got the SM7 in play at the Australian Open. But what I was surprised about was to see that he's also got the new 718 AP2 irons in play. That really caught me by surprise because, you know, some of you might remember it took Jordan Spieth quite a long time to transition from the 714 AP2s into the 716 AP2s. He actually, you know, first made the change and then went back to the 714s, but then finally got settled on the 716. So I was really surprised to see that he'd gone into the 718 model so quickly. So, you know, that's quite a big change really for a player like Spieth. You've got to remember he still uses the 915 driver, which is a 3-year-old driver. For him to put, you know, new wedges and new irons into play at a tournament. So, you know, particularly for a player like Spieth, I think that's a massive deal, and it shows that he's obviously a big fan of these new wedges and these new irons. So we'll be keeping an eye on Spieth to see how he gets on at the Australian Open. Okay, Sergio Garcia, I'm sure you've all seen the news that he's, you know, he's ditched his TaylorMade contract and he's been using Callaway clubs. Now, this isn't anything official. There's been no deal announced that he's going to be a Callaway player, but I think that it's pretty much done and dusted if you ask me. We saw him in the lead up to the DP World Tour Championship. He was using the Callaway Epic driver, 3-wood, and the new Apex NB irons. He was already using a new Mac Daddy wedge. He was using a Toulon design putter. So, you know, all the signs were pointing towards him, you know, becoming a Callaway player. And we've seen him again this week on the European Tour at the Hong Kong Open. Again, he's got the Epic driver, 3-wood, Apex NB irons, the wedge, and the putter. So it really is just a case of waiting for this deal, you know, to be announced. It was a little bit surprising really, because when we first heard that his TaylorMade deal was coming to an end, Garcia said, oh, you know, I'm just going to, you know, have a little, you know, I'm going to play the field a little bit, see what feels nice. But the fact that he's gone into this Callaway equipment so quickly tells me that, you know, this has been something that was going on for a long time. You don't just pick up a driver and, you know, go into a tournament with it. You'd have been doing a lot of testing, you know, with that product. So yeah, like I said, I think we're just waiting for the day now that you know, Callaway announced that Sergio Garcia is one of their staff players. Okay, a little bit on shoes. You may also remember that we did a little feature recently with FootJoy where we went behind the scenes at the British Masters, saw what went on in something that they call tour seeding. That's basically where they get a new product, they invite all the tour players to come to the, you know, truck, have, you know, take a pair and go and test them out on the course. So, you know, we witnessed that firsthand, like I say, during the British Masters, and, you know, I've been keeping a close eye out for these shoes, you know, to see, you know, when and where other tour players are wearing them. So I actually noticed at the Hong Kong Open this week that Rafa Cabrera-Bello, who, you know, has worn a few different shoes, you know, over the years, but he has been wearing this new model in play in Hong Kong. Our man Craig Middleton is actually out in Portugal at the moment learning a little bit more about these shoes. I know quite a lot about these shoes. I've seen them, I've felt them. I can't tell you what they're called, I can't tell you what they do, but all I can tell you is that Rafa Cabrera-Bello has been wearing them at their UBS Hong Kong Open this week. They're black, they're spiked, they look a little bit like the Pro SL. I've probably said far too much already, but yeah, keep an eye out for those in the future. Okay, the topic of the golf ball going too far is something that's, you know, really been in the news the last few weeks. It's, you know, think back even to the US Open, you know, Brooks Koepka, people were moaning that he never hit anything more than a 7-iron into a par 4. We had Ross Fisher breaking the course record with a 61 at the Old Course, which led to, you know, Gary Player to saying his Old Course had been brought to its knees by new equipment. We've had Tiger Woods even saying that the ball is going too far. And this week we've had some really interesting stuff from Geoff Ogilvy, just ahead of the Australian Open. You know, basically saying that, you know, as far as he's concerned, it has gone too far. The ball is going too far. He's saying that, you know, the guys that are only hitting it 300 yards on tour are now seen as short. and he thinks that we've reached a breaking point. He's saying that you're going to have players driving the first green at Augusta, and he doesn't think that's is the way that we should be going. So this word that's been bandied around, bifurcation, whatever it's called, it's basically, you know, the tour pros using one ball and us hackers using another ball. I've got a massive problem with that, if I'm honest. I want to use exactly the same equipment as the tour pros. I don't see why that's a problem. I hit a driver 240 yards, McIlroy hits it 320 yards. He's fitter than me, stronger than me, better at golf than me, and I don't have a problem with that. You know, I think we need to accept that, you know, golf as a sport and golf as a, you know, golf equipment as a science, you know, it needs to evolve, and it will evolve. We need to expect that that's going to happen. So I just can't see a way around it. This, you know, verification process, how's it going to work? How's it going to be policed? Will the manufacturers ever agree to it? I'm not sure that they will. So I think we just need to accept that this is how far players are hitting the ball. We need to celebrate their athleticism, celebrate, you know, the equipment and drivers and balls, you know, go this far, and just get on with it, basically. Okay, so we're supposed to be talking about new releases in golf equipment in this video, but unfortunately this has been a really quiet week and there hasn't really been anything to talk about, which is a little bit of a shame. Oh, hang on. Oh no, here we go. Ah, there you go. We've got some new coloured balls from Volvic. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, really interesting. We've got some brand new balls from Volvic which come in patriotic colours. In fact, you get ones that are the colours of the United Kingdom flag, Irish flag, Scottish flag. So yeah, there you go. I thought it was going to be a completely boring week with no exciting equipment to talk about, but get yourself some patriotic Volvic balls. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.